Hello. My name is Taylor Anna Garrett. Welcome to the Wealthy Changemaker, a beautiful space on the interwebs where we talk about how to live the both end of wealth and change, which are two worlds that often seem at odds with each other. And this is where we're talking about what is your version of wealth and how do you feel nourished by the change and the impact you want to make in the world rather than burnt out by it. And what I want to talk to you about right now is one of the most important concepts, not even concepts, but awarenesses to have as a change maker in today's day and age. So we're not falling into the type of change maker who, like, this role where we give everything we can and we start to think, oh my God, my body is not feeling nourished, my energy's super low, there's something wrong with my emotions that are all over the world, and this becomes something that burns you out, something you really love to do, something you really wanted to give back to give a better world to the next generations, becomes something that you can't do anymore. And that's what I want to talk about today, because we get to understand the difference between different visions and types of change making. So there's two types of change making. We have one that is called transactional. If you're a transactional change maker versus being a transformational change maker, very different relationship. There are many different ways that these are told in the world, but I love telling it like this because it's so useful to understand where do we shift from being that one that never feels nourished, never feels taken care of by the work we're doing, versus the one that feels so enriched and empowered and inspired every day by what they do, but not only in their mind, but in their body and in their soul. So that's what we're talking about today. Now, transactional change makers. What in the world is that? Transactional, in just one sentence, is I give to get. So I do the work so that I can see the change in the world, and then I can feel like I did a good job, and then I can go and nourish myself after, right? Transactional is a very vicious cycle to be in because it's all about I will give this much effort, I expect this much output. The key here is we're living in expectation. An expectation that a result will look a certain way. And often when we live in this expectation, we forget that, we get to embody the work we're doing instead of expect it to become a result on the outside. For example, I was working with some incredible policymakers in Dublin the other week. And what I saw from these people is they need to be able to change the world and feel good about themselves. They need to see certain effects show up in society, less homelessness, certain policies they want to be instated in the government, and certain budgets even. When we live outside in, which is transactional, we start to create a world that feels very out of control and very chaotic. There's nothing wrong with it, and there's nothing bad about us when we do this. Know that. There's nothing wrong with you and nothing bad about you if you're living transactionally. Thing is we get to start understanding that's how we're engaging and how we're living. This typically comes when we're in a mindset of survival or when we're in a mindset of feeling, I just want to be acknowledged for the work I'm doing. I want to be accepted. I want to belong somewhere. It's a lower level of energy and a different way of using the brain even. We're working more with the sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight. Now that's transactional. Transactional is I give to get. I clean the house so that my boyfriend, partner, girlfriend loves me, right? I go and pick up the kids so that I can feel like I'm a good parent, right? None of that is bad, but it's a very hard game to play and it's an uphill battle. So let's talk about transformational. Transformational, on the other hand, is all about I give what I came to get. I become what I need from the outside world. And so therefore our only chance is to radiate that thing that we want, whether that's belonging, acceptance, wealth, friendship, connection. When we embody that within ourselves, we can no longer feel in that scarcity mindset of it's hard to achieve, because it is our experience before it's even true those of you who are really big on manifestation, these are just principles that are extremely important and aligned with the world of understanding manifestation. Whatever your belief system is, transformational change making is exactly what Nelson Mandela did, Mother Teresa. Gandhi, all of these incredible change makers that left a legacy, regardless of the certain actions and mistakes they made as humans, which is totally normal. The legacy and movements they left behind them are a result of a transformational change maker, right? So what we see there, the commonalities in these types of leaders, is that they are embodying the peace that they want to see in the world. They are embodying the wealth that they want to see in the world. They are embodying the excitement and the joy of being in the movement of creation, right? Of change in a society that feels like it's crumbling. So as we look at today's world, it's very hard, on our day-to-day to see massive leaders like this with big movements. And I'm going to make future videos about these leaders, right? Check in later for those. But what we want to understand most of all is in our own lives, how do we start shifting into transformational leadership? And this is just an awareness that there even is the two different options. I can be transactional. Am I being a leader here so that I can get status, so that I can get wealth, so that I can get something from the outside world so I can feel okay about myself? Or am I starting with feeling okay about myself and taking action from that lens? And that change is a lot more sustainable, it's a lot more powerful, and it's so exciting to create, right? And that's where what brings me here to you today is I am embodying the level of change maker without needing the certain amount of, audience already. Or without knowing where the multi-millions are coming to do these big projects around the world. When I stand here and I create from joy, it's just such a beautiful experience, rather than expecting the results from this video or this channel or whatever to be able to create the results in my life. It's the same that I do it's the same that I do as a coach with clients. In the transformational work, we work on the deepest, darkest parts of ourselves so we can be peace with them. And then from that level of energy, we are no longer held hostage to the need to belong, the need for the resources to be okay, the need for and the obligation to get shit done so that the world can be okay. That's no longer relevant. What we're talking about now is a game where we start to play and co-create with the experience and the resources in front of us and feel so good about them that we can only attract more. Such a different game. So if you like this video, subscribe or just give it a thumbs up so it can keep going. And I really thank you for being here with me. Here's to being the change maker that you want to see in the world.